really, why I'm here today, obviously, with this development this week, with police identifying Katie's remains. Tell me just what, were you notified by police, or how did that happen? What happened with that?
In November, I believe it was, of last year, I was out bush hogging or doing something, and I pulled in the driveway here, and I noticed the car behind me. It was Kentucky State Police in the Monroe County coroner, and they told me that her skull had been, some dogs had drug her skull up in her mother's yard there, and they found it, and they was going to send it away to see if it was her for sure, and stuff. And so yesterday morning, it was the day before yesterday morning, my youngest daughter needed to go to the doctor at Glasgow, and I loaded her up to take her, and a friend of mine called me, and the trooper got a hold of her and was trying to get a hold of me, and I wasn't around the phone, and when we called him, I called him, and he told me that definitely was her. They found out, and that's about all I know to tell you.
Yeah.
I knew it all. You just something all along, the way things was. I knew she was gone. But still, yet you look for them. When
the last almost 5 years, what's life been like for you? How have you been dealing with this?
I just, a day at a time, I ain't done nothing that no other parent wouldn't do, but I've been out, people, you run up on somebody and they'll say, you need to go see so-and-so, they know something, and everything, and you go see them, and then maybe you might go see somebody else from there, I've went through that ever since she's come up missing. But it's all, you just wouldn't believe the stories and things that I've been told, and check them out, and there's nothing to it.
Yeah. So, back in October of 2019, when, hold on a minute. I know that could be a little kind of loud. I talk to you, hopefully you can hear me. When things, could you take me back to 2019 when Katie originally went missing? What was kind of going on in life at that time? Do you have any insight?
Katie had some problems with drugs. She kind of got running with the wrong crowd or something. But she would come here often, or I'd go get her, and she's been here most of that summer, and she gets to doing pretty good. But I don't know if she got hold of something bad or what, but she got really paranoid, about everything, and she'd slip off, but she never would go far. She'd just go out the road or something, and I'd go find her. Or if she was down at her mother's house, she was at home at her mother's house, and she'd leave when she got to needing some money for some cigarettes or something, that, she'd always contact me, and I'd go to wherever. But she was fixing to go to a rehab thing about the 7th, I believe, of October when it was. She wanted to go see her mother, so a day or two, so I took her down there, and it went on up close to probably the 5th of October, somewhere along in there. And I called down there to see how she's doing, see, have her be ready for me to come pick her up. And her mother said she'd been gone since, 1st of October, which is about when I took her down there. And we just went from there, and I went down there, of course. I went searching for her. Her friends that they tell me about, and most of them I didn't know, but I go see them, and they tell me to go here and go there, when she's last seen. But it's just been, I can't explain how it's been, really. You just have to use your imagination.
It's hard to even, it's hard to imagine, and I don't want to pretend like I could even understand what you must have been going through
But
and
it's-
have been.
I lost my two boys back in 2001 in December, and my oldest one, then my youngest one was July the 5th, 2002. I lost him, and it's just been, I don't know.
Man, so you've lost 3 children.
Yes,
I'm sorry. I can't imagine.
I've got 2 daughters left, but I love them. They've been good.
Do you think that this news that you said just a second ago that you knew all along that
Right.
Katie was gone?
I felt it, that she was gone, but I still yet kept looking for her. I keep looking for her until today, finding out something. I just like to know kind of what happened, what took place. Got so many stories and things. I don't know why people does it, but it seems like people like to make up stuff and tell you, when you go check it out, there's nothing to it. But
Right.
or they back up on what they say it or something.
When I talked to the police yesterday, of course I was asking them, what happens now,
Yeah.
and they said that they would be treating this as a death investigation.
Yes.
Do you all the rumors and things that it sounds like you've tried to follow up on
Right.
and investigate yourself, just you've not found anything convincing?
No, a lot of things was just, just wasn't Katie, plumb out of proportion, the things that people tell you wasn't that too, but I just don't know. They tell me that they believe that she just, her and her mom had a little dispute of some kind. She went off over the hill behind the house and sat down and OD'd and just passed away there. That's what they're saying. So they're kind of wanting to drop it, I think, but I just don't see that. The dogs, they've been in there about 4 times, I believe, with cadaver dogs, different type of dogs, different people and stuff, and looked. Her mother told them what direction she went in, when she left the house, and they supposedly have looked everywhere in that part of the country. Haven't found anything, but the dogs, from October to 2019 till just a few months ago, nothing's been found, but the dog carried her skull up in the yard, house dogs. They just don't seem right to me,
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
Do you have any idea how that?
I don't understand it.
And
They're,
was there a lot of searching going on around that property?
quite a bit, yeah.
originally?
Finally, quite a bit. There wasn't a lot when she was first turned out missing, but a little later on, quite a bit of searching went on. Friends and law officials and all,
So you mentioned to me just a moment ago, as far as your contact with police over the last few years, what's that? Have they stayed in touch or?
Been very little. Now some of them said it's the police that told them that I hadn't called them or been in contact with them, but they didn't call me, and I'd call them, and they'd say, "Well, I told you I'd let you know something," kind of when something had come up. So,
Yeah.
But I hadn't. Nothing's been explained to me, really.
Right. So
As far as them, they've been here one time, and that was when they found the skull. They come here and told me about that. But other than that, they didn't, and as far as I know, there hadn't been any kind of law official here or nothing to talk to me or nothing. Which I understand it. If they're investigating something, they can't come and explain to you what they're doing. I understand that, but I don't know. It seemed like it was pretty well over when it started. As far as the investigation goes, that's the way I feel.
Yeah. And you don't know why? Like, do you have any idea why they
No,
just not?
no, I don't.
Do
Katie Mae, she had a few problems with drugs, but we was trying to take care of it best we could, but she deserved better than what she's got. so far. I feel like you couldn't beat it. She had a heart as big as that barn right there. But she changed kind of, when she got on that. She got real repulsive like and kind of afraid of everything, and stuff. But she wouldn't go off. If she get aggravated about something, she'd walk off up a road or something, but she'd just go up there and maybe fool with the horses or do something. You'd find her up a road, And if she did stay gone, from her mother's house, she'd get hold of you, in a day or two. You'd go find her and go get her. But I feel like it's something other I could have done or something. I don't know.
Do you think that, I think when people on the outside that have never dealt with this, they always just look at things like this as, well, maybe this is a piece of closure. Do you feel that way?
In a small way, yeah. I probably won't be looking for her in the crowd and stuff anymore. Like, every time you get in your vehicle, go down the road, you make somebody take a glance, it looks like maybe her sitting in the back seat or something, in the crowd and things. But I don't know whether that'll leave me or not. But at least I could take her, and be a few weeks the way they talk. They get a death certificate, and, from Louisville and stuff, and I can take her and have her a little funeral or something, and have a place to go to take flyers and things, to her. And I didn't have that before.
Right. At this point, with the investigation, police were just, and you, it sounds like too, were treating it as if she were out there still missing,
right.
Even though you felt, that things may be different, and obviously they were. What do you feel like the future holds for you now? What's your mission now?
I don't know what to say. It's been like that all along. You don't have no future. You just take day by day. You wait. But I just keep my ears open and my eyes open. Try to and see if anything else comes. If I can come up with anything else as to what happened to her and stuff.
Right.
I can't take in what they say, but they may know what they're talking about. I'm not an investigator, and I found that out pretty quick after this happened, but I'm still going to be looking.
And I don't, it's okay, you don't have to share with me if you don't want to, but, your other children that have passed away, I don't know if the situation was like this situation or not, but do you feel like losing Katie was harder than the other two, or as a parent?
It's altogether a different situation, okay? Just up and left, and I didn't know where you don't know where somebody kidnapped her or somebody done something to her, all these years, but you don't know what, you just take everything in, you don't know what to think. But of course the boys, one of them was murdered and the other one was drowned in a lake or something. He was sitting on a houseboat, a framer on a houseboat, and he just went off backwards in the deep part of the lake there next to the dam, and they found him and he's done gone. But I know where I buried them, where with the funerals, and I didn't have that with Katie,
Right.
I could go down there, and I know went back to the earth from which they come, but I know where they're at, and go down there, but I didn't have that with Katie. I didn't know,
I want to, if you would share with me, I'd like to know more too about, who Katie was. You mentioned, she had a big heart. So what?
Oh, she had a heart just as big as anybody you ever saw. She was a good child. She done good in school. There were a few times that I would get, possession of her, whatever you want to call it. In the beginning, when me and her mother got divorced, she was about 3 years old, and her mother got custody of her, and I got part custody. I get her on Friday evenings and have her till Sunday afternoon. But she done good through school and everything. And she got up to be a teenager, up in her late teens. She got to be a little handful, kind of, with her mother. But she'd come and stay with me. There's a few times I got custody of her, the state of Tennessee just gave me the custody of her, but a couple of times, but I always let her go back to her mother. But she got to get in a little trouble at school, get off the bus maybe and get in the car with somebody else or something, things like that. But she was a good child. She loved me to death. I did her. But
did she had one child? Is that right? One child.
Yeah, she had one child. He's 6 years old now. We get him every Saturday morning, and till late that evening, about dark or something, we take him back to his father's parents. Keeps him. He goes to school up here at Camellia. Gotcha. He puts you a lot of mind, a lot of his expressions and a lot of things he says, it's like his brother. But, I wouldn't want to live without him. He means a lot to me, But.
And does he, I guess he was so young.
Right. He was. He wasn't even. I don't know how. I remember how he was just a little bitty thing when she went missing. But she loved him, We've got many pictures of him and her. When he first born, they stayed in Louisville at the U of L hospital for about a little over a month, I think, and then come back here. And they stayed here for a while, and then they got him a home, rented him a home. It just kind of went downhill from there.
And as far as making sure that his mother's memory lives on with him, I mean, how do you all, the family, tell him about his mom and
right? He asks questions. Seems to be he don't seem to be, but he's a little man. He's really, the way he sits and talks to you and stuff is like a grown person. He's not like a child. His mind, but. And he wonders about her, and he says different things about her. We got pictures in the house, and him and her, and just her and things. He asks questions and things about her, but you have to be careful, what you say, because other people, he goes to school, the mayor, how people are talking to their children do, but he's a very intelligent young man, sure is.
I think at the end, what's something you feel like the last few years has been, aside from the fact of just not knowing, what's been the biggest frustration? I mean, I think it's kind of pitiful that the public would, people would just, like you said, make things up.
Right.
That's frustrating.
You just want to, I don't know, I hate to say that, but you just want to reach and give them and shake them, And they tell you some of the awfulest things. Then when you start to go to this one, they told that and told them, and they told this and over, you get around and finally it works out into nothing. And everybody backs up, But why they make them horrific stories up, I don't know what they get out of it. Don't understand that.
And as someone on the receiving end of that, how does that make you feel?
Well, it makes you feel like you really ain't got no friends or something, The ones that wants to tell you something is you think it's their friend, but turn out that ain't no friend.
Do you have? You said police I want to clarify that. Is it the police that they just sort of are saying that she probably overdosed and passed away?
Probably just went off behind the house. And they said sit down there and somewhere and overdosed and passed away there. And animals and stuff is done away with her, But
do you think that's what happened?
No, I don't. Sure don't. But like I said, I'm not a policeman. I don't, I'm not an investigator or nothing. I've seen that, felt that out first thing, really. But I've tried.
Right.
And I know Katie. I know how she was there at the end. But I just don't see that. I don't understand how that happened. How that a house dog could drag her skull up in the yard years later, and all them dogs and different, trained dogs had been there around and searched and looked, and not even a sliver of any kind of a bone been turned up or anything, yet her skull was drug up in the yard. And the dogs that drug it up is just house, yard dogs or whatever you want to call it. They don't get very away from the house. I just don't understand that.
And this is, excuse me, obviously, it's kind of more of a morbid question, I suppose. Right. But it was just the skull. There was no other.
No, they went and searched when the skull was found in Turney, and they came right down there, the Kentucky State Police, and the next, I don't know about that afternoon, but the next morning they searched about all day around there. We had dogs and stuff, and they was several. I heard there was 30-something people on four-wheelers down there.
This is back in November.
That's after they found the skull. Okay. They were, I believe that they was all some type of official people. They wasn't just neighbors and friends. But
I think
I wasn't told about it. I didn't know anything about it till it was done. That was done over with. The search. But
a lot of the time when these type of things happen, it seems like families sometimes get, like you told me, people reaching out with different stories.
Right.
Have you gotten any kind of things that stick out more than others that you feel like are a little more convincing about what could have happened?
No.
Or who might know something?
Not really. I've had a few, but after I check it out, search it out the best I could, there's some people that I do want to thank and tell them I appreciate helping me out, because if it hadn't been for a few of them, I don't know what I'd done. They helped me get in contact with different people and, the law officials and different ones. If it hadn't been for them, and very dear friends of mine, and it went way out of their way, and, went through a lot of what I went through with, just to help me out. And I appreciate that, every last one of them. Right. Sure do. I could have went, I don't know that I could have went this far without them.
Okay, I think I've asked all kind of the things I thought about, but I just want to make sure, there's...
Ain't really ain't anything I can tell you, what you probably already know, but...
of course, I doubt I've heard half of what you've been told, obviously being Katie's father, but it's strange in the news sometimes people call with different stuff and tell you different things, and
most of it turned out to be something that somebody else had told them, Right. And then you go to them, and then somebody else told them, then you wind up with nothing. And a lot of people don't want, they'll talk to you, but they find out, if you're going to tell the law or contact the law and tell them about it, they'll shut down. They won't talk to you no more. They don't want to be involved.
You're saying the police?
No, the people that tells you things.
I see. Yeah. Because they don't want.
Right.
They don't want the police on their trail or whatever.
Right.
Do you feel like state police has followed up on everything you've ever told them, has done, that you know?
Well, I hadn't told them a lot because I hadn't been in contact with them a lot. I mean, I went up here to a friend of mine that helped me out the most. But we went up there and talked to the guy that, you know, the one that's over it, the boss man of it. And we talked to him at the court, up there outside the courthouse one morning. And he was good talking guy. I've talked to him on the phone a few times since then, and he's the one that came over here and told me about the skull. And, you know, as far as I know, he's done all he can do. I don't know, but nothing hadn't changed since she very first left. You know, I just hadn't been told anything hardly. But,
I don't know if you can speak for other members of your family or not, but how has everyone else reacted to this news?
Well, there's just, you know, her mother, where she was at when she went missing, she, you know, she's about like me. I just don't know. She don't know either, you know. Or that's all I can get her up. But,
is there anything else you could think of you want the public to know, or just from your side of things?
no, I just want to thank everybody that's helped me, and the ones that's told all that stuff. It's caused us to run in circles so much. I unthank him, you know, or whatever you want to call it. You know, that's all I can say.
Sure.
There's not really a lot to say, you know, about it. But
right. Yeah, the only last thing I can think, and I hate to go back to it, is just the why, you know, only a part of Katie was found, only one part.
Right.
You know?
I don't understand that. You know, if I'm a farmer here, and got several head of cattle, but you can, you know, a cow can pass away, you know, and you can take her wherever, you know, to the boneyard and go back there. I can take you now the cattle that's been where they're at, you know, for 8 or 10 years, and there's still bones there, you know.
Right.
And say they can show you to them, but how the human can be deceased and for just a few years and nothing but their skull left and not a sliver of a bone or no sign of anything around there. I don't understand that. I just don't understand it.
Right.
I mean, I know I'm a simple man and all that and don't understand a lot. You know, I know that, but it's just beyond me.
I agree. I mean, I'm the same, in the same frame of mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess maybe sometimes things just
Right. There may be something that I don't even know or understand or something, but I'm just going by common knowledge, just what I know, you know.
And aside from, you said the possibility of her and her mother having some kind of disagreement before she went missing, are there any other?
I've heard that.
Have you
but I don't know.
talked to her about that?
Well, her mother says they had a little disagreement about something, but it wasn't nothing unusual for a mother and a daughter, you know. I don't know.
Sure. And as far as anyone else out there, you don't know who might have wanted to hurt your daughter or do something?
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't know any of her friends or people she run with, but I just got acquainted with them, you know, after the fact, kind of. And some of them are, so to speak, some of them are out there. You know, you can't talk in circles and stuff. And some of them are good talking people, you know, good people.
Because you've been very clear that nobody deserves what your daughter has. Unfortunately, what happened with her. But what would you tell them?
Be sure that they know that you love them with everything that they are in you. You know, that you want to help them and do right. And I know she raised up kind of poor, and I've been kind of poor all my life and worked for what little I, you know, had to get by. But make sure that they know it's not the material thing. It's your time. Put your time in with them. whatever it is, just be sure that they're close to you and you're close to them. And try to do the best that what you can do. That's all I know to say about it. It's the main thing that I regret about my relationship with Katie Mae. I could have spent more time with her, and then show them, it's not the thing that you buy them. You buy them. I mean, you need to furnish them with whatever they need in life. Whatever that's your responsibility. But just you can buy them all kind of things, but when they get older, they'll never remember that. But if you spend time with them, drop what you're doing or what you like to do and be with them, they'll remember that till all their life. A child will. I found that out through life, But that's the main thing to me.
That's really powerful. I appreciate you sharing that.
I believe it means more to them than anything.
Right. I think only you could be able to reasonably give that type of wisdom as a father, and in this situation that you face. So you said that they have told you it'd take a couple of weeks or a few weeks
right.
to get death certificate?
Within a day or two, either more or less, but around a couple of weeks when I'll get the death certificate, and then we turn that over to funeral home people and go from there,
Yeah. Well, I hope that at least allows you some level of comfort.
It does in a way, but it don't. Nothing like take it away. It's not over. But it does in its own way. It helps a little. But I don't know how to explain it, but it ain't over. Not with me.
And what do you mean by that?
My ears, like I said a while ago, my ears are open, my eyes are open. Whatever I can find out about what happened to her, I'm just not satisfied with that.
I think that's fair. I don't know a lot
of
either, stuff, but I mean, just from the standpoint of the context around everything, but it does seem, just some things
right.
Still seem off, I think.
But I pretty much told you everything I think, that I know, but
right.
it's not healthy, going through all that and not knowing, and never knowing.
Yeah. It's taking a toll on you.
It took a toll on me and my wife, now my daughter. I've got my youngest daughter's 21 or 20, and it had a big effect. I've been hard to live with. I know I have. From day to day, and our family that we have, it put a strain on us.
Sure.
Because of the way I feel and what's in me, but I put a strain on them. But I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for putting up with me, and being there for me. They've been here for me, But friends and family that stick with you, that's worth a lot. It's worth it all. Everybody loses people that they love. I know that. It's part of nature. It's part of us. But it seems like some things happen. If it wasn't for somebody, lean on it, you just couldn't make it.
Right. Yeah. Just having that support network.
Right.
A family and such.
Right. And we, I create problems by being what's in me, what's going through me, and what I'm feeling and thinking. I know I've been hard to be around sometimes. I know that.
I would think that's probably understandable, though, with all this situation going on. And